Web scraping is the process of using code to collect data from a web page. This is very similar to what you currently do. You look at the web page content and you find the information that you're looking for. Then you store that information into Excel file, into a Word document, or some other apps. Let's assume I want to collect data from a Wikipedia page. The web page has HTML code that your browser can convert it to what you see on your screen. The HTML code looks something like this. It has a lot of tags, text, attributes, and so on. So the role of your browser is to translate this to what you see on your screen. We're going to use this HTML code to locate the information we want and store that into some sort of data frame or a variable. But first, we need to have some basic understanding of HTML. What is an HTML code? I'm going to show this with an example. Let's assume I want to display this line on my web page. Python is my favorite programming language. The text you see on your screen should be between HTML tags. So HTML consists of many tags. Let's assume I want to display this sentence on my web page. Python is my favorite programming language. My is capitalized and programming is bold. To display this on my web page, first I need to put this between two tags, let's say p tags. And what that tag is not important to us. If you know HTML, that would be helpful. But in this video, we're going to assume that we don't know the meaning of those tags. So by passing this to p tags, I'm going to display this sentence on my web page. But I want to display this word in italic. So I need to put this in a new pair of tags, and that's an I tag for italic. There are other tags to make a word italic, but I'm just going to use this one. So on my web page, my will be in italic. I need to do the same to this word, programming. I want to make it bold. I need to put this in a new pair of tags, b tags. And the result will be the sentence that you see here with a word in italic and a word in bold. So HTML consists of tags. The text you want to display will go between those tags. Each tag has a closing tag. So we have our opening tag here and we have our closing tag here. Tags can also have attributes. Each attribute has a value and you can have many attributes. To be able to locate what I want in a web page, I'm going to use a library called BeautifulSoup and a method called findAll. The code you're writing here is not the most efficient code, but it's the most simple code that works for most websites. For this example, I'm going to use the findAll method, which takes three sets of information. The first argument is a tag. So the first tag next to this text will be the tag that I'm going to pass to findAll method. Then I'm going to pass the attributes. So attribute name will be the key and the value will be the value. You don't have to pass all the attributes. We can just pass a few. Also, this argument is optional. You can ignore attributes. And finally, we can pass the text itself to the string method. This is all we need about HTML to be able to web scrape most websites. Having HTML knowledge, you can use other methods that will simplify web scraping different web pages. Before using that BeautifulSoup to parse the web page and web scrape, we need to download the content of the target web page. To do that, we're going to use a library called requests. Using that request library, we are going to send some information to the web page and we are going to get some data back. If it's a successful request, we're going to get code 200, status code 200. If for some reason the web page denies the request, the code will be 403. When you get code 404, that means the web page is down or it doesn't exist. At this point, many web pages will deny web scrapers, and you're going to get code 403. There are many different reasons for this. One, they don't want you to web scrape their web page for any reason, or repeated requests too quickly. This is one reason to deny your access to the web page. Another reason would be an IP making many requests in a very short period of time, or suspicious pattern of requests. One solution for this is sending more information to that web page and telling them that you are scraping the web page, but you're going to identify yourself. You can use this header to pass your name and your email address, and that would help to web scrape many websites that they actually deny access web scrapers. First, I need to import the libraries I'm going to use. The first one is the request library to download the content of the web page. From BS4, I'm going to import BeautifulSoup library. Also, I'm going to import pandas as PD. And let's run this cell. To create my headers, in case I need it, I'm not going to need that for all web pages, but in case I need headers, I'm going to pass my full name here, no space, and I'm going to pass my email address here. This is not my actual email address, but it should work. And that would be my header. I will start with web scraping Wikipedia page for Cornell University. Let's open this web page. This is Cornell's Wikipedia page. We have a lot of information here on different topics related to Cornell. I'm going to pick one item and try to get that using the tools that we're going to talk about. I'm going to focus on established. What is Cornell's established date? It's April 27, 1865, but I'm going to use my code to get this value. The first step is to download the content of that web page into Python. I will call this response. That's just a variable name. And I'm going to use the requests library and the get method, and I will pass the URL here. By printing a response, I should be able to see if it's a successful call or not. I got 403, meaning my access was denied. Wikipedia blocks me because I'm using a web scraper to get access to their data. I'm going to introduce myself to Wikipedia. I'm going to post more information to Wikipedia page, and that's my headers. There's a variable here called headers, and I'm going to pass my headers here. Let's run this once more. And 200 means we were able to download the content of that page. BeautifulSoup library has many methods. I'm just going to focus on very few methods that make it simple to understand what's going on here. Find all will search the entire document and returns a list of all matching tags. Find is very similar to find all, but only returns the first matching element. Contents returns a list of the inner elements of a tag. And string extracts and returns the text inside tags. I'm going to show you how all these works. I will write the code once more. I need to copy the URL here. So my URL is equal to, I will use Cornell's URL. Response is equal to requests.get. I'm going to pass the URL here and also my headers. Headers equal to headers. What is in response? If I type response.text, you're going to see what we got from that web page. It's just a very messy HTML code. We need to parse this using BeautifulSoup library. I will create a variable called soup. The reason I'm using soup as a variable name is because it's a common name. BeautifulSoup pass response.text, and I will use html.parser here. This part will be pretty much the same for all the web pages that we're going to use. Let's see what we have in Soup. This is still the HTML code, but you can see that it's organized over these HTML tags. Also, we will add some features that we're going to use in a second. For example, Soup has a method called findAll, which we can pass tags, attributes, strings, and so on. But first, I need to locate where my value is on the HTML code. Let's go back to the web page and right-click and go to View Page Sources. I'm using Chrome as a browser. For other browsers, you should have this feature as well. The name might be different. When you click on this, that will give you the entire HTML code of that web page. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this word, established, and the date I'm looking for is just next to that. So let's use this word to see if we can locate it inside this HTML code. I'm going to press Ctrl F or Command F to search this HTML page, and I'm going to paste my text there. There are 13 matching values, but the one I'm looking for is not this, is not in a sentence, is a text followed by a date. So I'm going to go to the next one. Here I can see established as a single word and a date which is not properly formatted. I think this part of the HTML tag is matching this part of the web page. What I'm going to do is, from here, I will move backward to reach the first opening tag, which is a th tag. And I'm going to use this to get to here in my HTML code. Let's copy this and go back to our Jupyter Notebook. I'm going to paste this as a comment. The first argument of findAll method is the tag itself. The tag is a th tag. If I run this, the result will be a list of all th tags in that web page. Assign this to a variable called result. findAll always returns the values as a list. So if I pass result to the length function, I can see that there are 113 th tags in that web page. So I didn't get close to what I was looking for. I need to provide more information and I need to be more specific. So I can pass some attributes as a dictionary. I'm going to pass this attribute, colon, and I'm going to pass the value. Let's run this once more. There are 94 matching th tags with this attribute. Let's provide more attributes. For example, this one. We're getting 39 matches. So as you can see, by being more specific, we're getting less matching values. That means we're getting closer to our target value. There's one more attribute here. I'm going to pass it by copy pasting that here. It's a good idea to copy paste it because it's going to be difficult to write this. I'm getting 23 matches and there are no more attributes. So out of those 23 matching values, one of them is the one I'm looking for. And you can see that list here. But still I have more information to provide. I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this word. Third argument here, string, and I'm going to pass my string here to see how many matching values I will get. I'm getting a list. How many items are in this list? 1. So I was able to locate established in this web page in this HTML code. If I move my cursor forward, I should be able to get the date. The process is very manual because we are not using fancy methods here. To be able to work with the HTML code, you need to take it out of this list. There's only one item in this list, so the index of this item is 0. We took it out of the list. Then I'm going to push my cursor forward. To do that, I'm going to use next. I didn't get the date, so I need to add one more next, and I'm going to keep adding more nexts until I reach the value I'm looking for. I'm not sure how many nexts I'm going to have. Here, I can see the date. Whenever you see your date between tags, you can extract that. So .text will remove those tags and will give you the string. In this case, the date. The formatting is off, but we can fix that. Let's reassign this to variable result. If I print result, it will translate these special characters to readable characters. April 27, 1865 is what I have on the Wikipedia page. To get the date, I use this word, but first I need to locate that in the HTML code. I went to the HTML code, I search for the word, and I look for the word that is between tags, followed by date between tags. I'm going to use this to locate, to move my cursor to this part of the HTML code. From established, I moved backward and found the first opening tag, copied that here. Using findAll method, I passed my tag, I passed my attributes, I passed my string, and the result was one matching value. Took it out of the list because findAll always returns the result as a list. Then pushed my cursor forward. I needed 2 next here. Then I removed the tags using text. And this is the result. I'm going to convert this to a function. Let's copy this and paste it in the next cell. Push everything one step to the right hand side and give it a name. The argument is the URL. So I can remove the URL from the body of my code. And instead of printing the result, I'm going to return the result. Okay, run this. To test my code, I will pass the URL to this function, get established date. And let's pass the URL, and that will give you the date. If you put this in a print function, it should fix these characters. I have URL to other Ivy League universities. This web page also have established date. How about Harvard? Harvard also has established date, so you can see the pattern in Wikipedia pages for these schools. Does that mean my code could work for other schools? Let's test this. Get established date, and I'm going to pass Harvard's URL here, and I'm getting back the result. So I'm hoping that I can write my code that works for one page, and I can apply the same code to similar pages. I have a list of URL to different Ivy League schools, and I call that list Ivy schools. Let's run this list. I'm going to loop through this list and try to see if I can get the established date for each one of them. For Ivy school in that list, Ivy schools is just a variable name. I'm going to get the date and assign that to a variable called date. Use my function, get established date. I'm going to pass the URL, Ivy school. So in each loop, we're going to get one URL, and let's print that date. And as you can see, it worked for all these links. Let's add the school names here as well. So what is the school name? School name is the last part of this URL. So if I remove this part, I'm going to get the school name. I'm going to copy this. I can use my string methods. Having Ivy School, I'm going to replace this string by an empty string. The result will be the school name. Let's add that to our print statements. School name, colon, and let's put the date here. And that will give us the school name and established date for each school. We're going to use the same approach to web scrape different websites. There are more advanced libraries, more advanced tools. If you understand the relationship between tags, that will simplify your web scraping as well. But even with this limited HTML knowledge and limited tools that we covered, you should be able to web scrape many websites.